Dalton with Frontstretch.com. I'm here with Bret Holmes. Bret, I just told you this. You kind of reacted to it. I told you to keep it fresh in your mind. Do you know that you're the youngest team owner currently in any of the top three NASCAR National Series right now? And what's that? What's that like knowing now?
No, I mean, I don't ever think about that. I mean, that is kind of cool, but a lot of it has been from my dad and I have built over the last few years and having our own teams through go-kart racing, dirt late model racing, asphalt late model racing, to ARCA, to now this. So, as I've gotten more involved in our family businesses and stuff, that's just, how it's panned out and what's been best for us to do. But, no, I've never really thought about it, but it does definitely bring a different perspective to the table when you're driving and week-to-week stuff, which, different things you think about and look at, and especially when you're racing. There's some, I think there's a different mindset when you're racing. Just when you kind of know what everything's going on, how much stuff costs, and you kind of look at risk reward type situations. And but I just think it's a different level of pride. Also, it's not like we're coming to another team and driving their stuff. I mean, it's your stuff. So there's a different level of pride in it, and how you take care of your stuff, I feel like.
We're just a couple hours away from what Kyle Busch has called the most expensive day of the Truck Series year. Does that change the way you race at all tonight?
A little bit. I mean, I've always, not for this particular race, I kind of treat it the same way any super speedway race. Like, if I'm not in the top 4 to 5 rows, I'm not going to be aggressively on somebody's ass and pushing him. There's no really reward to that. That's just common sense driving. And so any further back than that, we're keeping a good distance, not making any mistakes or letting too big of a distance happen between the truck in front of us. But when you're kind of at the part of the field where we're going to be starting at tonight, like you just have to make right choices lane wise, and once you get in that top 10, then you can really think about who I need to be pushing, how aggressive I need to be pushing, what's the risk versus reward, what lane I need to be in. So that's how I go, my mindset into every race. And our truck hasn't ever really been good at single car speed. We've been about a mid-pack truck, but we've always seemed to easily come to the field when it matters most. So looking forward to do the same thing we've been doing the last 3 or 4 races at super speedways, and I think we definitely do have a shot regardless of our starting spot.
You'll have to partner up with somebody tonight. You said the single truck speed was kind of low. You'll have to partner with somebody up tonight. Are there any dancing partners out there that you've kind of identified?
No, I mean, I haven't really planned ahead or talked to many people. It's so hard I've realized, over the last couple of years, that it's really hard to do that and for it to even work out perfectly, even though you talk to a handful of guys, like, more often than not, you're not going to be nose to tail with that person you talk to. So, it is partially a dog-eat-dog world with what we're doing here. But I definitely, like last year, Matt DiMenedetto helped us out a lot through that race and stayed tied to our bumper that pretty much the whole race. And, I think this year we have a better involvement with Chevrolet, so definitely keeping that in the back of our mind, who we're helping as far as manufacturer goes. So we have that kind of different kind of team in that perspective. So we always think about that a little bit, and just but you really you don't constantly think about that. You just think, well, what lane is coming, what lane has the runs going and stuff, inside or outside, where you're clear at and where you're not. So that's more along the lines of in thinking about what teammate and stuff we're going to push.
And finally, as a team owner, I know we just started the year, and I know this is probably so early to tell, but have you ever had those, maybe like in the shower thoughts of team expansion one day?
A little bit. I think if you ever get too big, it gets a little too out of control. You can't keep your thumb on things as much as you'd like to. But you've got to look at shop size. How many employees you have, how many cars you got. And if it all makes sense, if it all works, and looking at our goals most importantly. So, in a perfect world, if I won the lottery one day, maybe so. It'd be cool to have a 2-car team and us doing the same series or splitting in 2 series or something. But for right now, we're going to keep our focus solely into 1 series and 1 truck, and I think that's what's going to fit our goals best, and that's win a truck championship.
And I'm sorry, one more, but what exactly makes you want to own a team in NASCAR? I mean, I know you probably grew up loving racing, things like that, but what is more rewarding doing this rather than just joining another team?
Like I said, part of it is the sense of pride you have in it when you've built this and helped orchestrate this, and obviously it comes with the help of a lot of great people, a lot of great guys who've put it together, from crew members to sponsors to anybody. So anybody we sub work out to, anything like that. But part of it is like, you know what equipment you're going to get too. You can control that fact. When you go with another team, that decision kind of leaves up to them. And I'm not, knocking any teams. I think there's a lot of great teams in the Truck Series who provide good equipment. But just looking at that from day one, that was kind of the biggest reason we had to measure on.
Well, Brett, I appreciate you taking the time with me, and I wish you luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
This is Austin Dillon, driver of the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also check out one of those 2 videos beside me. Visit frontstretch.com for more racing content.